Hello. I made every excuse in the book not to record my first video for this channel until I had state-of-the-art equipment, a new computer, because mine is a 2013 Toshiba laptop that is on its last leg. And then I just decided no time like the present, may as well make this as real, raw, and authentic as I tend to approach my life. So welcome. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm Kat Weston, and ideally many of you find this because of the community I have created via my Instagram, but if not, welcome to Chronically Joyful. The purpose of this first, introductory video is to introduce myself and tell my story a little bit. I mean, it's been 12 years of living with multiple sclerosis, and the goal behind this entire channel, my Instagram, everything that I basically do, is to foster community and help people come together, not feel so alone, and just realize that life is insane and things are crazy and everyone's going through something different, but at the end of the day, everyone's going through something. So with that, welcome. I'm so excited that you have decided to click on this video. I'm randomly, spontaneously recording on a Sunday afternoon on a whim, so bear with me. But yes, I am Kat Weston, currently located in the United States of lovely America, in the midst of a pretty chaotic time of life. So just to quickly introduce myself further, yes, I have been living with multiple sclerosis for what will be 12 years this August. I was diagnosed 15 days after my 20th birthday. I'm 31 today, not today, but in this life right now. And it turned my entire world upside down, I'm going to say, for the better. It has changed me and everything about who I am to my core, and continues to teach me and show me so much that this wonderful life has to offer. So yes, the basic gist behind my story is I'm originally from Long Island, New York. Say that I don't have an accent in the comments and I will love you forever. But yes, 15 days after my 20th birthday, I attended SUNY Potsdam, which is a State University of New York college, so far upstate New York that it was 40 minutes from the Canadian border, which was very interesting, and one of the reasons I moved to sunny Virginia, where there is snow on the ground currently, and I'm pretty bitter about it, but I digress. But 15 days after my 20th birthday, I went to school early to start my first job in the university bookstore in town as a textbook runner, grabbing big textbooks for the neighboring university for the students, helping them find them, and bringing them to the checkout counter for them. That was the basic gist of my job. At this time, I had hot pink hair, septum piercings, nose rings, 49 different piercings everywhere, which many of them I still have. Hooray for corporate culture letting me do that. But basically the gist of my job was heavy lifting and fast action. And the morning of my first day of work that my family continues to tease me about to this day, I woke up and had lost entire functionality on the left side of my body. Fun fact, I'm left-handed. Hello. That's why I've got my neuron tribute tattoo for my MS that my lovely sister-in-law Vanessa drafted up for me, and it's one of my favorite parts of my cuerpo. But I woke up that morning and went to put my contact lenses in and completely missed my face. And I was like, am I still drunk from the night before? Because it was college age. And of course I partied the night before my first day of work. I'm like, that was weird. It's fine. Let's continue on with this day. And then quickly began to realize that I couldn't walk. I couldn't write. I'm left-handed, as I said. This was basically a dead weight against my body. And I was like, this is fine. this is still fine. I can still show up to work. And I'm so grateful to my boss at the time, Sarah. Sarah, if you happen to see this, bless you. Just because I got to work and I was like, hey, it's really good to be here. Is this normal? And she, rightfully so, freaked out, sent me to the emergency room immediately, where I complained the entire time. I really did. I complained because I could hear people in neighboring rooms moaning in pain and agony. And I'm just in this room, sassily drinking my coffee in a hospital gown, just like, I'm fine. This is ridiculous. Everyone's overreacting. Like, it's fine. I experienced my first CT scan, which I was like, this is interesting. And I'm that patient where I'm just like, what does that do? What does this button do? What do you do? What are you doing right now? What are you analyzing? Like, I'm that person that's just highly inquisitive and probably obnoxious to the doctors trying to do their jobs. So got the CAT scan. I'm still complaining. And then two lovely nurses come in and they're like, sweetheart, we're going to take you in for an MRI. Which at this time, I was in Canton Hospital, very far upstate, where they were like, good news for you, we just brought the MRI machine in from the trailer outside. It was a very small town. And I'm piercinged up like crazy, and they're looking at me, and I was like, I've never taken any of this out. Help. So I had these lovely nurses like over me with these pliers, just like, all right, we're going to take this out. And just like laughing because I'm making jokes this entire time, because what I've come to realize all these years later is that I deflect every raw emotion with humor, just because if you're not laughing, you're crying, and I refuse to cry. I always choose to laugh where I can. So I have them laughing. The lovely MRI tech, I think is what it's called. Forgive me. Medical people. He comes in and he's just trying to like ease my concerns and my anxieties. And we ended up doing wheelchair races down the hallway, which so grateful to the staff, honestly, where at this point I'm like, all right, things might be a little bit more serious than I first expected it to be. I go in, I get the MRI. I learned very quickly that if I have any semblance of an itch, a twitch, or something in between, we're going to have to do it all again. Happy to go into detail on that in a different video, but had my first MRI experience and I'm still kind of like, that was weird. This is getting a little hairy now. Okay, this might be serious. And I remember sitting in that hospital room and this very rude NP comes in and he was just like, yeah, we think it might be multiple sclerosis, but we have to send you to a hospital in Vermont, which was 2.5 hours away from where I was, to do a follow-up MRI of your spine. We don't have the technology here. To which I reply, what's multiple sclerosis? Because my mind immediately thinks muscular dystrophy. I've never heard of any of these things. That's the only thing I knew. And he responds by going, you really don't know? And I will never forget that. Never let anyone in the medical industry gaslight you, make you feel less than, or tell you what they think is best for you if it doesn't feel right for you. Off my soapbox. I digress. So I end up going to Fletcher Allen in Vermont and getting the MRI of my spine. This is something I'm very grateful for to this day, despite the implications that come with it, but I got diagnosed immediately because on all of my scans, my spine is clear to this day. I have no lesions on my spinal cord. Knock on plastic table that I'm sitting at right now. But my brain scan came back and I had 30 lesions at the time, which made it very easy to diagnose multiple sclerosis. I was showing such prominent symptoms. I'm blessed that my diagnosis journey was so fast, to a degree of understanding that, holy shit, I have 30 lesions. So I look at my scans and I'm like, my brain looks like Swiss cheese. I make that joke all the time, much to my mother's discretion. She does not love that. But yes, so 15 days after I turned 20 years old, I learned that I have multiple sclerosis. From there, things got crazy. I was put on a drug Copaxone. I just posted a blog on my Chronically Joyful blog website. I will link in the description below if you would like to give a quick read over my med journey, but I will be posting videos about that in the future too, just because over the last about 12 years, I've gone through 4 different DMTs, which is just a fancy way of saying MS drugs. And I've had the unique experience where I'm blessed enough not to really experience an influx of symptoms physically. A physical exacerbation happens sometimes. Drop foot in 98-degree weather when I decide to run 6 miles on a hot day. I kind of deserve that. Versus when I'm really emotionally activated, that's usually when I experience most of my symptoms, which 2025, thank you for showing me resilience. But yes, so it's been quite a journey. I feel very grateful for the community that already exists through my Instagram. And my goal here is just to expand that further. We're living in a day and age now where folks aren't reading as much. And as somebody who's more wordsmithy in writing, it's been a little bit of a challenge for me where I'm posting Instagram posts that are this long and it's like, here's this thing that I think people would benefit from learning about, but then I lose them halfway through and they're like, why are you writing a novel here? Folks tend to not really read blogs anymore either. I'm a big Pinterest user for recipes and I will tell you straight up, I scroll right to the recipe and I do not read about your journey to get there, guys. So in a world where we're getting very digitized and we're losing a lot of this kind of interaction, I would love to use this channel to foster community, interact with folks in a more personable, personalized way, and also just create a space where you can come here in your darkest hour and still feel okay. Because I'm learning it's more helpful for me to share the hardships that I've faced, MS or not. My life has been chaotic for at least the last 3 years, probably beyond that. I've learned a lot of hard life lessons. I'm an old soul. And my goal is to tell you that you're not alone. And it's okay to not know what happens next and to not know where to go, who to talk to. I would have loved something like this when I was first diagnosed back in my day. YouTube was around, but it wasn't used the way that it is today. Spoiler alert, I'm really addicted to tarot card readers, only 3 of them. I trust them implicitly with my life at this point because they're very accurate, but like it creates a community across like my spiritual side and things like that where I would have benefited so much from hearing someone else's experiences and hearing that it's normal to be falling apart and at 31 years old to still be peeing my pants all the time. It's an MS thing. And also a Weston thing. It's just a thing. And I'm not ashamed of that. But just creating a space where we can all just be funky together and talk about weird things like symptoms and not symptoms. And like, I don't know, I'm a big video game nerd too. Like there's a lot, people are so multifaceted and people are so interesting. And I love people. And I love the community that already exists through my Instagram. So I just foresee such wonderful things coming from this. And I'll be candid, I'm not here for the views. I am here for just that one person that comments on a video. That's my dog, that's Puddles. I'm here for that one person that comments on a video and says, wow, I feel so seen. Thank you for giving me that. So all of that to say, this is a hot mess of my first YouTube video ever, but I anticipate to get better equipment and actually plan these in the future. But I just wanted to introduce myself and tell you that we're in this together, regardless of what this is. This is life, and none of us should feel like we're in it alone. So thank you for sitting through almost 15 minutes of a very spontaneous decision to record this. And I wish you light and love. Thank you for being here.